Hello and welcome to Wireman's Whimsy. Today we are going to make this Thinking of You fun fold card. So lots going on with this card. I really liked the idea of a soft floral background. So I actually created my own designer series paper. And I used the Hand-Penned Petals set. I used the smaller flowers here. And the little leaf. And the flowers I did in Blushing Bride, the leaf in Pear Pizzazz, and then I wanted to fill it just a little bit. So I took the scatter dot stamp from Color and Contour, and I used that in So Saffron in between. And I did this all on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock, and then I cut it up. So the greeting I did with the Vine Design set, the Thinking of You, and then used the die that matches this stamp to cut it out. And I did just a little bit of texture on the fold over by using the Tasteful Texture 3D embossing folder. So now this card is actually just slightly bigger when you cut it than a standard card. It does fold up to 5.5 by 4.25, so it will go in the envelope. But to get the fold over, we needed to go just a little bit bigger on the cut. So I took a piece of 12 by 12 white cardstock and I cut it to 5.5 by 9.25. And then what we'll need to do is we'll score it at 4.25, and then we will score it again at 2.5 so that it folds back on itself. So I wanted to do that on the video so you could see what I've done. So I'll just clear everything out of the way so that I can get my my cutter back out. And the dies, I used 2 stitch rectangle dies to do the frame on the front. So I will just get my cutter out. And as I said, we need to score it as if it was a regular card at 4.25. And I'm going to move my blade up to the top so I don't accidentally cut the paper. Wouldn't be the first time that's happened. So I'm just going to line this up at 4.25, and I'm going to score it. This leaves you, if I fold this, I'll use the bone fold later. This side is just a little bit longer. This is the side that you're now going to score at 2.5. So we'll just pop that in like that and score it. We can just do a soft fold on it, and you can see how that folds in. So again, this piece is 5.5 by 9.25, scored at 4.25, and then the long flap is scored again at 2.5 so that it folds back on itself. We do need to do the Tasteful Texture or Textile 3D embossing folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm only going to put the front section in just up to the fold like that, and then I'm going to put the folder over, and I can put the folder in the machine like this. Now normally I don't like to have a hard edge go through the roller, but in this case I'm going to have to. So I'm just going to pop this through the machine and emboss that front corner. There we go. See, that bang happens when the sharp edge comes off the roller. So there is our embossing done. So I'm just going to use my bone folder, and I'm going to just scrape that down. And this one, I'm going to use the bone folder on the inside because I don't actually want to flatten out the detail that I've just added. So there you can probably see the difference in texture in the flap versus the back of the card. So here's the pieces I used to put it together. I've got a 5 1/4 by 4. Now normally I'd take this and I'd put it on the front of the card. Today I'm actually going to put it on the inside of the card, just like this. And then we'll still have room for the greeting. So I'm just lining this up along one edge, dropping down like that. There's still room to write to and a from in there, or if you have more to say, you can absolutely use the back. So there we have this piece, and now I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal and attach this to the front of the mat. Using the 5 1/4, the 8 1/2 by 11 sheet of white cardstock that I used to make this, make my own kind of designer series paper. It made enough to make 2 cards, plus I've got this piece left over, and I've got some strips left over, which I can use to decorate another card. So it's great if you've got a couple of weddings or a couple of birthdays or something. You want to make a couple of interesting cards, but you don't want to have to make a lot of the designer series paper. And if you have a designer series paper that is a particular favorite, you can do the same thing. You don't have to make your own paper. I just wanted to have a play. So we're going to line this up in the middle so it's kind of equal on all sides. I'll drop that down. And I dimensionalized the Thinking of You. Now you'll notice that I only put adhesive on half of this, because if I'd put adhesive here, it would stick down. So I want to be able to open up the card like that. I'm going to put dimensionals right in the middle because, again, I don't want anything to stick this side of the card down. So I'm going to pop a dimensional there and there, and then we will put this down. So I want it to be centered, and the nice thing is the stamp is almost exactly as wide as the outside border on this, so it makes it really easy to line up. I'm just going to drop it down, and there we go. And I did this and I got it to here, and I thought that's really pretty. It just needs a little something. So I took some basic Jewels pearls and I colored them with one of my Stampin' blends. And I'm just going to put 3 of them just down the side. It's just that extra little bit of bling. And these pearls take the color really, really nicely. And the Stampin' blends work so well to do that. So I'm just lining them up, sticking them down. And there you go. There is your Thinking of You card. So again, to make the folded card, I took a piece of 12 by 12 white cardstock and I cut it to 5 1/2 by 9 1/4. Then I scored it at 4 1/4, and the longer flap I scored again at 2 1/2, so it would fold back. So this is the 4 1/4 score, and then this is the 2 1/2 score, and it just folds over and makes such a pretty card. So thank you so much for watching today. And if there is anything that you would like to purchase, please use the link below in the description. And if you like the card or would like to see something different or a different set used, please leave a comment and I will be happy to answer your comment. Again, we used flowers from the Hand-Penned Petals, the dots from Color and Contour, and then the greeting and the die from Fine Design, along with the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder. So thanks again for watching, and we will see you next time.